Chinese Cinderella, The True Story of an Unwanted Daughter by Adeline Yan Ma. Chapter 20, Pneumonia. My headache worsened after Mary and Rachel went home, and I was left alone. All night long I tossed and turned, feeling hot one minute and cold the next, trying to find a comfortable position. There was a tickle in my throat, and I couldn't stop coughing. Next morning, the sight of my breakfast sickened me. It was very depressing to sit in the refectory all by myself, filled with a feeling of déjà vu. In the middle of it, I had a coughing fit and ended up vomiting. When I came back from the bathroom, I coughed up some blood. Mother Mary felt my forehead and told me I was burning up. She ordered me to go to bed and called a doctor. My temperature shot up to 104 degrees. When the doctor came, he immediately admitted me to the hospital. When I was hospitalized, Mary Swen came to see me every day. She was my one and only visitor. Her mother lived within walking distance of the hospital, and Mary told me she had nothing better to do. On one occasion, Father dropped in. Mary saw him because she happened to come into my room while he was leaving. Later, she was able to report to our friends that not only did I actually have a father, but he was also handsome, well-dressed, and looked very important, thus disproving once and for all the widely held belief that I was an orphan. The doctors injected me with penicillin, and I recovered. Father's chauffeur came to fetch me when I was discharged. To my amazement, instead of taking me directly back to school, he drove toward the car ferry terminal instead. "Am I going home?" I asked, half hopeful and half fearful. "Yes, those are your mother's orders." Third brother opened the door when I rang the bell. He had recently arrived from Shanghai. I was overjoyed to see him and had a million questions. "Where is everyone? The apartment is so quiet." "Father is at the office. Niang, fourth brother, and little sister have been invited to a friend's house. Before Niang left, I heard her tell the chauffeur to bring you home to recuperate here for 1 week. I was greatly relieved. "So it's just the three of us for the time being? Where is Ye? He is having lunch. Let's join him. I've been waiting for you." We found Ye sitting by himself in the dining room, despondently staring at his plate. On it were some steamed carrots, a small piece of poached fish, a mound of rice, and a few potatoes. His face lit up when I ran to his side and greeted him. "Ye! Ah, Wu Mei, you're home. I must apologize for not waiting for you to have lunch. My diabetes is worse, and this English doctor friend of your father's has put me on this special diet." He looked down with distaste at his food. "I have to eat punctually at 8, noon, and 6. Otherwise, my blood sugar goes sky high. The trouble is, I get so tired of eating the same thing 3 times a day, every day." He sounded so sad I felt like crying. Instead, I sat down beside him to keep him company and asked third brother, "How is Aunt Baba?" "She's fine, still working at Grandaunt's bank. She keeps worrying about you and Ye. Did the communists bother you?" "No. Life in Shanghai is better than ever. Actually," he lowered his voice, "I was having such a good time I didn't want to come to Hong Kong at all. Big brother and second brother left over a year ago to go to college in England. So at home it was just Aunt Baba and me. She treated me like a king." "Life in Shanghai won't be like that forever," Ye warned. "The communists will show their true colors sooner or later. Besides, your father has plans for you to study in England next year, just like your 2 older brothers." "How lucky! Oh, if only I could go to college in England too. I'd give anything in the world to be able to do that. Alas, it's not for us girls." A thought struck me and I continued, "Where is Big Sister? Is she still in Taiwan?" "No. Against everyone's advice, she went back to Tianjin with her husband and took their baby daughter with them," Ye replied. "Yes, Big Sister is now a mother, and I have my first great-granddaughter. What a mistake Big Sister is making in going back to communist China. Mark my words, she'll come to regret it." "What are your future plans?" third brother asked, turning to me. "How are you doing at school these days?" Before I could reply, Yeye said proudly, "True to form, she continues to be the top of her class year after year. She started in Form 1 when she first came to Hong Kong. The next year, she skipped a grade and attended Form 3. We just received a letter from Mother Superior saying that they're encouraging her to skip another grade. In September, she'll be going into Form 5, and she's only 13 years old." "Not bad!" third brother exclaimed. "You must feel pretty good about yourself." "Oh, I don't know. What good does it do? Being top of my class and skipping grades and all that. My friends probably think I'm some sort of freak, reading all the time. Not that it'll get me anywhere. They nickname me Scholar, but I don't know whether that's complimentary or derogatory. I read because I have to. It drives everything else from my mind. It lets me escape to find other worlds. The people in my books become more real than anyone else. They make me forget." "It's not so bad here, is it?" third brother asked wistfully. "How can you say that?" I exclaimed. "But then, you've only just arrived. Besides, you're a son, not a despised daughter, and you have England to look forward to. For me, it's bad. In fact, very bad. To begin with, I have no future. I'm terrified they'll force me into an arranged marriage like big sisters just to be rid of me. I don't know what they have in store, but you can be sure it's not England. I've been here for over 2 years, and this is only the third time I've been allowed home. The rest of the time I'm shut away behind convent doors like a nun. Last time I was home was 5 months ago at Chinese New Year. I was helping little sister with her homework when Niang pointedly told her not to spend too much time with me and sent her away. Who needs it? No one. She treats me like a leper, and I know she doesn't like me. Quite honestly, I don't like myself either. As for father, he doesn't even remember my name. In his mind, I'm nothing, less than nothing, a piece of garbage to be thrown out." "Don't talk like that," Yeye interrupted. "You mustn't talk like that. You have your whole life ahead of you. Everything is possible. I've tried to tell you over and over that far from being garbage, you are precious and special. Being top of your class merely confirms this, but you can vanquish the demons only when you yourself are convinced of your own worth. The world is changing. You must rely on yourself and not end up married off like Big Sister. I have faith in you. Get out there and compete in the most difficult examinations. Create your own destiny. Your Yeye is an old man now, and his days are numbered. Who knows how long we have to talk like this? But no matter what happens, always remember that my hopes are with you. Trust me. Continue to work hard. One day you'll show the world what you are really made of." At that moment, Ah Gum entered the room with our lunch. In contrast to Yeye's Spartan repast, she placed sweet and sour spare ribs, string beans with beef and black bean sauce, and sautéed spinach on the table for third brother and me. As soon as she left the room, Yeye quickly served himself a generous helping of ribs. "I know I'm not supposed to eat this," he said, "and your father will probably yell at me should he find out. But my doctor has taken all the taste out of my food. Sometimes I ask myself, what's the point of hanging on if I can't enjoy my meals? What else is there left for me?" There was so much despair in his voice it made me cringe. I longed desperately to make it up to him. So I said, "When I go back to school, I'll try even harder. And if I should be so lucky as to succeed one day, it'll be because you believed in me." End of chapter 20.